Welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show, a show that focuses on top real estate professionals who specialize in different niches of real estate. My name is Ben Kogut. Join me as we dive deep into the professional and personal lives of the experts of the real estate industry. Welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show. I'm your host, Ben Kogut, and today we have Vinki Loomba on the show. Vinki is a California realtor. She's also an IT professional / professor turned into a full-time real estate investor and syndicator. She's the founder and CEO of Loomba Investment Group. She's also an entrepreneur and a strategist with a background in commercial real estate, IT, and academia. Vinki, welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show. Is there anything massive in your bio that I missed?
No, you did very well justice. Thanks for having me on your show, Ben. I'm so excited.
My pleasure. It's an honor to have you. And let's dive into it, Vinki. What is your involvement? What's your real estate niche, and how did you get involved in it?
My real estate niche. That's a really good question. It started like way back in the days when I was working as an IT professional in one of the companies, financial companies. So what happened was we bought our second house, we put our first home on rent. So we realized the passive income flow. From there, my real estate journey started. So we thought, oh, wow, that's the way to make money too, a little bit here, And I got my realtor license and I thought I could do wonders, move into the retail space of real estate. And I really enjoyed that over time. And what I learned at that time was that real estate is the way to go, because it's not just like you're adding value to your life. Just being in this space, you can add value to so many other people's life and you can touch so many lives around you. But unfortunately, I could not keep up my real estate career going with my W-2 job. It was a little bit too much with my young kids and a family. My husband was in W-2 as well. So I put my real estate career on the back burner. So fast forward, I knew that someday I will come back to it. And that's what exactly happened. You can say that was the affirmation. I manifested that and I'm back in the same world, but in a different space. I'm more on the investing side now in the multifamily and really enjoying it.
Amazing. And I just happened to, you had told me that you're involved in a lot of different types of real estate. And I also know that you speak a lot about mindset and mentality. And so I'd love to kind of dive into that in this show to know, like, what is your mindset when you're transitioning from a W-2 into being a professional full-time investor, and how does that manifest in your life and with the other people around you?
There's a story behind it. And if you don't mind me telling that, I would love to share that story. So please. W-2 was my first gig, I would say. Before that, when I was studying, I wanted to become a professor. I'm going to tell you the whole story, how everything manifested in my life. So I was studying to be a professor, but then my parents, they decided that it's time for me to get married. So I got married, I came to US. So I put my professor career on the back burner now because I was here starting my new life. I got enrolled in a PhD at UC Berkeley, and but I could not pursue that because I got pregnant and I had a baby. My husband said, okay, maybe it's time for you to explore the business world. Maybe you wanted to check out the corporate world. So I joined the corporation as a management trainee. And I started climbing the corporate ladder. I started enjoying that. So my professor career was kind of on hold, but it was back on my mind. I wanted to become a professor. And fast forward, I got a chance to complete my MBA over here in US and got a chance to teach. So I took that opportunity. I became an adjunct professor. So meaning to say is it's like, if you have a strong mind and if you're really, creating or visualizing that future for you, you can make that happen, you can manifest that. And same thing happened with the real estate journey, because when we learned about the passive income flow, I got my realtor license. But I had to put that on the back burner due to my W-2 job. So again, fast forward, I knew in my mind that someday I will come back to it, which I did. And I came back to real estate. I started my journey as a passive investor. So what happened was my W-2 job, I got a chance to take off from there because my job moved to New York. And then I thought, maybe I'm done with my career. I worked 22 years, it's good enough chunk that I worked. And I'm going to call it a day. I asked my husband, do you need me to work? He says, no, it's your choice. So I thought, okay, I'm going to retire. I'm just going to chill out now. I'm done. And we were traveling around the world. One day we came back, and I woke up early morning with a strong feeling. You can call it epiphany or whatever it was. It was like 3 or 3:30 in the morning. I had such a strong feeling. I felt like, oh my God, if I die this minute, what did I do with this life? Other than helping myself or helping my family, I didn't make any difference in this world. If I die today, nobody will know. It's like Vinki came, Vinki gone. That's it. So it was like, okay, I need to do something. If I do not need anything in my life at this time, I still wanted to do something that I can give it to the people who need it. I wanted to make a difference. So I got back up. I got my real estate license reinstated, and I was looking, what should I do? I didn't want to sell homes. I was looking for some connection in merger and acquisitions. I thought, coming from a corporate background, moving into merger and acquisitions gonna be the best fit for me, because I went through so many mergers, on the system side. So learning the business side is gonna be really cool thing for me. And while I was looking for some connection on LinkedIn, I came across somebody's profile that read 400 million assets under management. And I was like, okay, I know this person a little bit. I wanted to find out what he did. So I called him. He mentioned about the multifamily investing. So I just jumped on in. I'm like, okay, this is the way I wanted to go. And from there onwards, I'm growing. And I move into self-storage. It's a ground up self-storage. And now I'm working on a ground up townhomes. I'm co-GPing with my other friend who's in Charlotte.
Amazing. So much to unpack there, Vinki. But what I want to ask you is, what was the mentality or the mindset that you maybe advise somebody who's thinking about switching from a W-2 to go full-time into commercial real estate investing? What do you think it takes to do that?
That's a good question. Well, when I was in W-2, I never thought of investing in real estate with somebody else, myself either. Because for me, real estate was just buying a single family home. Maybe I can rent it out and buy another one, rent that one out. I can collect rent. That was my vision at that time initially when I got started with real estate, because I didn't have the exposure to the wonderful world of real estate where we have the opportunity to invest with others and multiply, exponentially. Versus just sitting and waiting, okay, let me get the one opportunity and get the loan, go through all that process, which is kind of crazy, or I would say super scary for some people to just going through the whole lengthy loan process. And then when you're investing with somebody else, you don't have to deal with that. But the only thing is, it's just like the risk appetite. If you have that, then you can do that. So how you can develop that risk appetite is, how I did is just getting more knowledge, learning about the space. Because what I learned over the year is the biggest hurdle in our life, or the limitations, are due to the knowledge gap. If we do not know something, we are hesitant to do it. When I didn't know about the multifamily investing, I was super hesitant because I didn't want to jump on it. I didn't know anything about the self-storage. I didn't want to do it because I'm scared. Oh, what's going to happen? But the thing is, if you mitigate the knowledge gap, your risk appetite increases. So the more the risk, more the money. You have heard that terminology before. So that worked for me.
Got it. Love all that. And you mentioned at least twice that you wanted to make a difference. And I know that is something that you're doing, and I'd love for you to articulate in what way are you trying to make a difference in this world?
What way I'm trying to make a difference? I wanted to,
Well,
overall, if I tell you in one sentence, is like, I wanted to help the women and children in the world. That's what we are doing right now in India. But beside that, I wanted to make myself a resource. I wanted to add value to others. So I wanted to connect with others in this space or any space that I am looked at as a resource, like somebody needs something, I could be the go-to person. Let me ask her if she knows something about that. So that's what I am training myself to be, because what I've learned over the years, your network is your net worth. The bigger your net worth is, the bigger your network is, the more resourceful you're gonna be. So that's how I see myself. That's how I envision myself, because that's gonna help me with my nonprofit as well. Because the more people I know, more people are gonna support me on this journey, so we can help more projects throughout the world, globally. Right now we are helping in India, but we could be anywhere globally. But the only
yeah,
way it's gonna happen is if I have the support of all the people around me. And I'm looking for that support. And then in turn, I wanted to add value to them in whatever way I can.
yeah, I sort of thought that was the direction you were going to go with it, and I totally agree, because I've seen the effort, through the podcasting and through putting out content, and I think I think we're similar in the sense that we both love to teach. I'm not formally an educator, but I find that in this role that I have, I get to teach people all the time about investing in commercial real estate and passive income and financial freedom and all those lovely topics. And so I just want to, take a moment to acknowledge you for the making a difference that you're doing for other people along this journey as well. And I think that's, there's limitless ripple effects that come from all that. So, just want to kind of comment on that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I do agree with you 100% on that, putting the content out or giving, because the thing is, you're sharing your knowledge, your experiences. Like I say all the time, there is no way we can experience each and everything in this lifetime on our own and make the decisions, because our life is so short. The best way to do is learn from other people's experiences. So that's why I have the podcast too, and I do have the webinar. I try to connect with people through that, because I wanted to share my experience, as well as I wanted to bring other people, talk to them as well, learn from their experiences, which again, I can share with others so they can create the path for themselves. Because I'm not like on a quest to tell somebody or advise somebody, okay, you need to invest right here, right now with me. Rather, I will give them, the path, or show them, how they can do it, and also share all the experiences so they can carve their own path, or they can create their own vision where they want to be, versus just like thinking, oh, I want to be like her, or I want it to be like him, because that does not work in the bigger schema. Because you gotta know your own address, your physical address, your future state where you want to be. Because if you know your current state and you know your future state, you'll be able to figure out the directions to get there. GPS is there like for the, it's just like in the regular physical world, I would say, if you get somewhere, you use the GPS. Same way, you create your own GPS to get your future state.
I love that. And so let me ask you, Vinki, what direction are you going? What does the future hold for you? What are you focused on?
My future, I want it to grow to at least $2 billion company sooner than later, because my vision is that I wanted to touch 1 million lives before I leave this world. So I wanted to, that's my goal is, and I'm hoping I'll be able to manifest that, because it's very, very important to me to help the people who are living, like in a mindset that they're so worried if they have food on the table for the next meal or no. I wanted to help them and give them some space in their mind so that they can think about something, that how they can make their lives better versus, worrying about just the next meal. And similar thing I wanted to do with the kids, women and kids, because kids are very important because they are the future generation for us. So any help I can provide anyway, I would love to do that. And right now, the way we are doing is we are just, sending them the resources, funds to all these projects to fund the projects. But at some point, I wanted to make it a self-sustainable model so that whatever funds we are sending is kind of in an auto generation kind of mode. Like we can create some kind of system that people are not just taking advantage of the funds, but they are also kind of employed and they're earning, and somehow it's just perpetuating the whole thing.
Love it. It sounds very much like it's better to teach a man to fish than give a man a fish kind of thing. Something that has sustainability going forth. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing all that and your mindset, and for you are making a difference in the community and in the world. And so to that point, there's a few questions I'd love to ask people. And so starting with, personally or professionally, how do you like to invest in yourself?
That's a very good question. Before making any kind of investment, everybody should think about themselves. Because if you are here, everybody is here. And the world is the way you see it. Because it's all your vision, is how you are perceiving everything. So the best way you can increase your capacity, I would say, or your success, or somebody's looking for money, or whatever you wanted to do in this world, is you have to broaden your vision. You have to increase your perception. And for that, what you can do is you can educate yourself, gain more knowledge, invest yourself, invest in your self-improvement, break all the limitations. And that's going to happen from the personal improvement or personal empowerment. You need to figure out, first of all, who you are. And once you know who you are, you will know what the gaps are. And you can mitigate that gaps by acquiring that knowledge. Or, are just partnering with the right mentors who can guide you. So investing in yourself is the first thing before investing anywhere else, because that way you will have the clarity where you want to be and where you want it to invest, or how you're going to get there.
Nice. Well, taking that further, the next question is, personally or professionally, in addition to anything you may have already mentioned, how do you like to invest in the community?
How do I like to invest in the community? I'm going to go back to the same thing.
Okay.
Just I wanted to foster like the strong relationships, of building strong relationship with others, because I love to learn from others. Like I mentioned earlier, you cannot, 100% like do everything yourself. You always need other people's experience, other people's knowledge that you can leverage on. So I would love to make connections, strong connections that, I can help them, they can help me.
Nice. Yeah. Relationships are certainly a good ingredient, good key to success. And speaking of, how do you define the word success?
Success is very relative. It's all in your mind. And it's not a competition. It's like seeing yourself. For me, money is not the goal. It's not, to me, it's not having, like earlier I said, I wanted to be $2 billion company, but that's not like, I would say it's a success. Yes, in some ways a success because I'll be able to help more people. But to me, success is when you reach to a space within your mind, within your heart, that you know who you are, and you have that balance, you have that clarity, and pretty much you're able to manifest anything, whatever you want. To me, that's the success. Knowing yourself, that's the success. That's the first success that anybody can achieve, is just like true to yourself, finding out who you are. That's a success to me.
Love that. Know thyself. That is a great way to look at it. Amazing. And so as we're winding things down here, Vinki, maybe if someone wanted to get a hold of you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
Oh, thanks for asking that. I would love to talk to more people, actually anyone and everyone. You can reach out to me through my website, loombainvest.com. I do have a free ebook, 7 Reasons Why Real Estate Syndications Build Long-Term Wealth. You are welcome to download that. And also, I'm all over the social media. Please feel free to connect on LinkedIn, Facebook. Love to hear from you guys.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. And any last parting words of advice or anything really that you'd like to say?
Last piece of advice, I would say, be authentic, be yourself. Know yourself, invest in yourself. That's the best thing that you can do.
Super good advice. Amazing. Well, Vinki, thank you again for coming on the Real Estate Niche Show. It's really exciting to hear this very positive mentality that you're spreading throughout the world, and hopefully some of my listeners here will take on that mentality and know thyself and all that good stuff. So thanks again, Vinki, and thanks everybody for listening. And until next time, it's been the Real Estate Niche Show. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Niche Show. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me or the show, you can follow me on Instagram at Ben Kogut and at The Real Estate Niche Show. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.